flag.
The intense conversation.
It has to be given to her now based on sentiment. These are some of the challenges that women go through on a daily basis.
Okay, bro.
And that
all and more on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts, whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's still the nation's #1 talk, news and sports radio station. We're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itamian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. This is Hard Facts. And on the big Hard Facts today, we're looking at, of course, the continued anti-corruption war which is being waged by the EFCC. I did promise you that we were going to bring Mr. Oyewale back into the studio. Remember, we had a conversation with him last year, I think in December, before the year came to a close, and he did say that that the EFCC needs to sensitize Nigerians more as to what their duties are, what their responsibilities are. That way we're able to understand what they're about and support them in their anti-corruption war. And so I brought him back into the studio today to keep his promises, or in keeping with his promises. Mr. Dele Oyewale is the spokesperson for the EFCC, which is the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and he joins us live from the FCT. It's so good to have you join us in the studio, Mr. Oyewale. Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the program.
Lovely. It's just that I can't see you. What happened? I saw you a few minutes ago and you've disappeared. We'd like to see your video so that we can see who we're talking to. Somebody needs to turn on your video for us so we can see you. Okay. All right, while we wait for our guest to turn on, okay, his video is on, so we can see him now. All right, Mr. Oyewale, we can see you very well. Okay. If only that can just be stable. That way, yeah. Okay, that works for me. Yes, perfect. Great. Mr. Oyewale, it's so good to see you. Happy New Year. You owe me Christmas hamper. EFCC, you did not send us hamper. This is not nice. I'm joking. Anyway, in keeping with our promise to Nigerians that the EFCC is going to help us sensitize us on their rights, on their duties and their responsibility, and why this anti-corruption war is important. I'll let you open the floor and tell us what the EFCC is about, as if we do not know what the EFCC is about, and then tell us why this anti-corruption war is very important. Let's start from there.
The EFCC has become a household name in Nigeria and even across the world. It's an agency that is fighting frantically, frontally, all cases of economic and financial crimes and any form of disservice to our economy by way of any form of criminality. The Commission is sanitizing our financial space. The Commission is trying to create a level playing field for honest Nigerians to carry out their businesses without any form of manipulation, without any form of compromise, and to create the rightful environment for foreign direct investment. You know, for us to be able to achieve this, we must attain a zero level of criminality, especially where economic and financial crimes are concerned. And the Commission has been doing it effortlessly. We have been doing it with every passion, diligence, focus, resourcefulness to ensure that Nigeria takes its place in the Committee of Nations as a country that is free of any form of economic and financial crime. To our credit, we have more than 10,000 convictions since the establishment of the commission, and we have recovered quite very, very significant and sizable level of financial and non-financial assets. Some of them are already deployed to developmental uses across the country. So the commission, without sounding immodest, can be taken as one of the strongest pillars of economic growth and development in Nigeria because of all the effort it is making to ensure that every threat to our economy is taken away.
You sound like you have it all figured out in terms of this war, and that you have Nigerians backing you, which should be the case. But then when you ask the average Nigerian how much trust they have in the EFCC, at least 80% of them have zero trust in the EFCC. And as I would ask any other government, department, agency, as to how they are supposed to close this gap, and this is almost the same question I asked the FRSC yesterday, how do you think that Nigerians arrived at this place where there is that trust deficit between them and you, who's supposedly fighting on their behalf? And how do you intend to close that gap?
Well, I will strongly disagree with you. There is no empirical or statistical justification.
I could put up a poll right now on my social media. We're going to put up a poll now. How many people trust the EFCC?
How did you arrive at such a very, very conservative, as I like to put it,
we're going to put up a poll now,
estimation, the trust that Nigerians have in the agency? Let me tell you, I always say it for those who care to listen. Those who have not faced the teeth of the wind, they will not know how cold it feels. If you have not been defrauded, you have not been cheated, you have not found yourself at the wrong side of a criminal tendency, you will not appreciate what the EFCC is doing. All of these things, trust deficit and all of that, they are all perception issues that have no bearing with empirical reality.
Okay.
Now, how will Nigeria not trust EFCC, an agency that is trying to relaunch the badly damaged reputation of the country, an agency that is trying to reconstruct, the economic and financial behavior of Nigerians, an agency that is trying with all its ability to remove any form of distortion, any form of disequilibrium in our economy? How will Nigeria not trust an agency that has recovered quite very sizable, amount of money that have been stashed away, that have been stolen? How will Nigeria not trust an agency that is giving reports timeously on a daily basis about what it's doing? So I don't think there is any justification for anyone to say that there is a trust deficit. Yes, there can be perception issue. I agree that there can be perception issue. Okay. And that is what it is, perception. Okay. But when you get to the brass tacks, when you get to the nitty-gritty of what the commission is doing, and when you see the level of development and the indices of development that we have around us because of the activities of the commission, then you look at it critically and say, no, this is an agency that we all need to support.
Great. Now,
our activities, they are enough for anyone to trust us. I'm sure you are aware of, in some few weeks ago, the commission arrested 792, internet and investment scammers in just one arrest. It has never happened anywhere in the world. Imagine what this number of fraudsters, imagine the type of damage they are likely to do to the country if they are not arrested. In some few months ago, the commission recovered 753, apartments, including duplexes in Abuja. An agency that is coming forward with all of this and that is giving you information about what it is doing. So where is the trust deficit? I mean, will an agency in trust deficit for being effective? I think the crime of the EFCC, as far as I'm concerned, is that it is too effective. Maybe that is the crime.
I like how
the commission is
I like how you humbly blow your trumpets, even though we're here asking questions. You're like, you people don't even know that we're working hard for you. I like it.
No, but that is the truth, because I challenge you. See, Miriam, I challenge you. Give me an agency in Nigeria that can stand shoulder to shoulder with the EFCC in achievement, in impact, in penetration, and in patriotic dispensation, as far as the work of the commission is concerned.
You're doing too much. You're doing too much, Mr. Oyewale. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Very good.
You're doing too much. But since we're talking about the trustworthiness of the EFCC, let's deal with some statistics, because this is hard facts. Recently, the EFCC laid off, if I'm not mistaken, 27 of his officers last year, just late last year. The officers, according to you, were dismissed for various offenses bordering on fraudulent activities, misconduct also. Your chairman, Olukoyede, reiterated the commitment of the EFCC to zero tolerance for corruption, warning that no officer is immune to disciplinary measures. You also disclosed that investigations are ongoing regarding the trending $400,000 claim of yet to be identified supposed staff of the EFCC. Normally, when you pick up these Yahoo boys, you parade them. You picked up the Asians here from somewhere in VI. You paraded them. How come you're hiding the identity of your officials, people we trust to fight corruption? You're hiding the identities. 27, not one, not two. How do we trust you?
Very good. The very fact that an agency can come forward without being prompted by anything, by any extraneous influence, to say that I have dismissed 27 of my officials because of some cases of misconduct, that in itself deserves commendation. Let me tell you, across the country, across the world, if you have an agency as large as the EFCC, of course, you will have some bad eggs. And we are not assuming any sanctimonious, holier than thou attitude. We came to the public space and we said, yes, we have dismissed this so number of people because of that. But because the dismissal process is still ongoing. Now, we may need to go to court, we may need to do this, we may need to do that. So we are deliberately not brought forward their names. But that does not mean that in the course of time, we will not do that.
But does it mean?
Let me tell you,
does it mean that you? Sorry, Mr. Oyewale, please. Does it mean that you dismiss these people without facts? Because if you have the facts and the case is that these people have been found guilty of what you are claiming or alleging, then that's the grounds on which you have fired them, because you can't fire them.
If you are familiar with public sector rules, there are processes and there are procedures.
Okay.
People may want to seek redress in courts. It is within their right.
Okay.
So when we get to the breach, we will cross it. We are not saying that we are not going to disclose the identity. If we are not ready to do that, nobody prompted us. We came out to the public space. So if we can do that courageously, with all integrity, that this is what we have done, then we can as well disclose whatever identity anybody may want to know.
Yeah, but that same public But that same public sector rules, I worked in the civil service for 9 years. Now, you cannot fire me if you have not found, beyond reasonable doubt, facts to hold me guilty of that crime that you have blamed. Now, I can't take you to court if I think that what you have is not good enough. But then you have fired me, meaning that what you have said, I did. You have facts that I did it. So you cannot easily say we fired Maryann, but you cannot say we fired someone without having any evidence. So it means you have evidence as the EFCC. Why can't we get the names of these people when you
listen to me, Maryann. You see, we have our own rules of engagement.
Okay.
And we have our internal processes and procedures.
Okay.
And it does not mean, and all this without prejudice to whatever anybody may be saying about the commission.
Okay.
We are not going to compromise our rules just because there is public hysteria about not disclosing their names. Many times when we even make arrests, internet fraudsters, you can never see or disclose their names if they have not been taken to court. Go through all our press releases. We won't disclose their names. We will not even show. We will give you the back view of their photograph because that is the standard global practice. So if you have not arranged anyone, you have not brought forward details about certain things, you may choose at your own discretion, by your own rule of engagement, to keep the identity to yourself. You have not committed any law.
Okay.
So you have not committed any offense. So in this matter now, I said something which you have not been able to disagree with me. I said nobody prompted us, nobody engineered us, nobody steered us into disclosing what we are doing. It is because of our transparency. It is because of our commitment to accountable conduct that we say, okay, we have done this. It's our own internal rule, and we are entitled to our rules. So at the right time, when we are ready to disclose the identity, we will do that.
Okay. Interesting. Let me also bring to your notice yes, another case that the EFCC also reported, which for me is very disturbing, but also falls in the category of some of your staff who you have already explained to us why you let them go. For me, I just felt that was really dastardly. And this is about the case of your official in Kaduna Zonal Command who reportedly disappeared with about $30,000 and other valuables. The officer, only identified as Polycarp, we hear, made away with items during an audit of the Zonal Director Benedict Ubi, by the Zonal Director. We also hear that in related incidents, 10 officials of the EFCC in Lagos State Command were detained over items, including gold bars, reportedly worth 1 billion naira, and foreign currencies. Also, we hear that an EFCC officer was also found lying dead on the streets of Lagos days after one was allegedly shot dead and another during a raid in Anambra. There's just a lot that's happening, and this is not in any way to play down on what you're doing. Like you said, you're doing a great job. But then when we see these ugly-headed things pop up in your system, of course, there's need to ask questions. What's the development with those stories, especially the ones with the gold?
See, Maryann, I'm a trained journalist.
I know. You've
and
been telling me that all the time.
Yeah, as a trained journalist, I know that it is within the constitutional responsibility of the media, to hold the government accountable to the people. But in doing so, there is need for objectivity.
Okay.
You see, there is a lot of misrepresentation, outright lies, blackmail about all of these issues.
Really? Explain to us which one.
Yeah, and I will tell you why. The Kaduna issue that you are talking about, what gingered it, what engineered it, was a desire of the executive chairman, Mr. Olaolukoyede, his readiness to purge the system, to sanitize everywhere. And he directed that there should be audit of all our facilities and everything that we have. Now, immediately he gave that directive. Of course, all our formations, they were on the audit had to be conducted everywhere. Now, this fellow in Kaduna, maybe because he had some skeleton in his cupboard, the moment he heard that, he took to his heel. He ran away. Now, $30,000, $25,000, $50,000 that are being insinuated, they are all lies. I am telling you, they are outright robust lies. Why? Because somebody that took to his heels, that are not even giving account of what was in his custody, how did anyone come to that amount? Who told them? How did they know?
So if he has nothing to hide, why is he running?
So there is nothing, as far as the Kaduna issue is concerned, we are going to arrest him.
So you're blaming the media after you had confirm that you're investigating. No, hold on. You're blaming.
I am talking about
sorry, Mr. Oyewale, let me ask the question clearly so that we can clear the record. We set the record straight on this show. Are you claiming that the media concocted that story of gold bars and $30 million and some money is missing? Are you saying that the media concocted that story even after you said that you were investigating it?
There are inaccuracies.
Mr. Oyewale, are you still there? Oh my goodness, I think that we have lost the connection with Dele Oyewale. Is the spokesperson of the EFCC and he's joining us live via Zoom. Hopefully we can get him back quickly. His connection is going in and out. But I really want to understand if there was a misrepresentation or there were inaccuracies, is it not within the purview of the EFCC to send out a press release correcting that misconception? I hope that we can get him back so that he can join the conversation. But we have to go on a quick break in a few minutes and bring you some messages. When we return, EFCC's Dele Oyewale is still going to join us after the break. Stay with us.
Millions of listeners.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with a new improved Maggi chicken flavor, the game changer, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, the game changer.
Let me ask you a question. What holds you back when you wake up each morning? Is it the uncertainty of how the day will unfold? And as the day goes on, what makes your heart race? Is it the quiet fear that maybe you're not doing enough? And when it's evening, is it the longing for just a little more time? Whatever it is, remember, challenges don't define you, but how you rise to meet them. Staying connected to your dreams, that's how you break free from limits. Get unlimited data plus up to 6-hour battery backup to keep you connected without interruptions on Airtel 4G 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to find out more. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey. And when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of Knorr seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, torn uniforms, and dirty shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. There are so many distractions taking away the attention of my family, from phone screens to work screens and others. But when my family hears this, when I cook with Devon Kings, we all come together to bond, taking away all distractions. Hey, no phones at my table, please. Oh yeah, let's eat. Cook up unbreakable bonds with Devon King's range of cooking oil, margarine, spread, and seasoning. Great for bonding moments. Devon King's, taste that binds. Available across stores nationwide.
It is the season of love, ladies and gentlemen, and I have it under good authority to tell you that on Nigeria Info, one play is going to be shaking up your world. Don't miss out on your chance to win your share of 10 million naira. Yes, 10 with 6 zeros following it. Yeah, I did not stutter. You heard me properly. 10 million naira, all going down this Valentine's Day. the 14th of February 2025. Now, any ticket you purchase between now and the 14th of February 2025 automatically qualifies you for the Val Mega Jackpot. Now, to play, the parameters haven't changed. What are you waiting for? Pick up your phone, dial star 347 star 880 star 3 hash. That is star 347 star 880 star 3 hash. Or just go to the website at www.oneplay.ng. Oneplay.ng. Go to www.oneplay.ng. And of course, it will cost you 500 naira per ticket to play this game. You can play as many as 10 times. You can play as little as once. In a few seconds, however, your ticket will be in the draws. Now, the more tickets you purchase, the higher your chances of winning big. Now, Val Mega Jackpot. Whether you play via the website at www.oneplay.ng or you go by way of the USSD code, your chances of winning are pretty much the same. Now, remember to play responsibly and note that this game is only suitable for people who are above the age of 18. One Play is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission. We are legit, so start playing and start winning.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is your number one station.
99.3.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Hard Facts.
Yes, it is Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We've got 29 minutes under our belt, and I still do have with me, joining me via Zoom from the FCT, the spokesperson for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Dele Oyewale. And we were in conversation just before we went on that break. Mr. Oyewale, you were saying that there was some there were some inconsistencies in those reports. And I'm asking, as the EFCC and a journalist, a colleague, as I'd like to say, you should have come out with some sort of press release to address those misconceptions and what you would call inconsistencies. Did you do that?
Now, you see, concerning the Lagos issue, we came out with a press statement about some operational issues, operational items that are missing. We did say it. We came out publicly. And we said that investigations, even as at now, they are still ongoing. Don't forget that we are a law enforcement agency. We just don't talk just because we want to talk. We talk on the basis of fact, on the basis of what is on ground. So when it is time for us, we are going to talk, we are the one that came to the public space to say that this is what happened. And so that should tell everyone that we are ready even to go the whole hog when we have all that we want to lay bare before the public. So, but people misrepresenting, misreporting, distorting and bringing forth inaccuracies about what is not acceptable.
How about the Kaduna
Facts
story?
are sacred.
How about the Kaduna story? Did you bring out a press release also to address the inconsistencies in the Kaduna story?
No, the Kaduna issue, we have not even, it's still being investigated. When we are done with our investigation, the public will be duly notified.
Interesting. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but because of these things that people are seeing, and I like how you're ahead of it and saying, well, nobody prompted us, we did this. But then it doesn't stop people from questioning. If you have a house full of people that somewhat are fraudulent and have gotten involved in so much sharp practices that you have to let them go, 27, not one, not two, should we not worry about the whole house in itself?
There is no need to be worried. But there is every need to commend the Commission for being bold, for being courageous, and for being transparent enough to let the public know what is happening internally. You want to tell me that all agencies in Nigeria, they don't have people that are dismissed on a regular basis? Do you get to hear it?
But those agencies are not saddled with the responsibility of fighting corruption in a country where we know that corruption has its foot on our necks.
We realize the enormity of the trust that Nigerians, repose in us. And that is why we are always feeding the public with the necessary information, not holding back, not keeping anything under wraps, saying it as it is. Now, the sanitation exercise is still ongoing. For all you care to know, there is a whole department called the Department of Ethics and Integrity that's looking into all issues of misconduct, corruption, and all of that in the EFCC. Great. We are as serious as that. There is a full-fledged department that is in charge of that. And we have always been saying that if anyone has any issue of corruption against any staff of the EFCC, we have our public complaints units all across our zone. Just go there, make your complaint, then the commission will do the needful. It shows that we are committed to the issue of integrity, and we are not holding back.
Okay. Before I let Lagos, because today I promised them that I'll let them ask you as many questions as they have, because they're very curious minds. And if you're just joining us, the program is Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're broadcasting live from Lagos, and you can join the conversation live on YouTube. We're Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. On Facebook, we're Nigeria Info FM. You can join the conversation. There's a poll on our Twitter. Do you trust the EFCC, and to what percentage? Because my guest is saying that he needs empirical evidence. This is Hard Facts. We're going to give it to him also. But most importantly, if you're listening to us from outside of the country, you want to be part of the conversation, be on our live stream and post your questions. All of them will be answered by Mr. Oyewale today. Because, of course, the EFCC is here today to sensitize you on what they do. That way you know how to approach the EFCC with the right information. But then, let's talk about the NNPC. There's too many allegations surrounding the NNPCL, I beg your pardon. And many Nigerians have wondered why the EFCC has not dove into the many allegations that are surrounding the NNPCL. I know that you'll give me a very sharp answer, but Mr. Oyewale, do us the honors. Do you think that the NNPC is worth investigating?
Every agency is worth investigating, including your agency.
Oh, please. By all means, we welcome you.
So there is no agency that is immune to investigation. If there is a basis for it, why not?
So why
you understand? But there must be facts. Anti-corruption agencies don't work on speculation, assumption, presumption, and all manner of things that cannot be empirically established. So if there is a basis for any issue concerning any agency, bring it to the EFCC, write a petition, we will look into it.
Okay.
But we are not going to work on street talks. We are not going to work on beer parlor talks. We are going to work on facts that can be corroborated, that can be established.
Great.
So it is not enough for people to say this one is that one. Has anyone brought forward the petition? I mean, that is it. Because whatever you do, we may need to go to court.
Let me ask a crazy question. Who brings a petition against the Yahoo Boys that you go after? And I'm not in any way supporting them, but who brings the petition to you about Yahoo Boys?
Very, very, very good question. We get intelligence.
So why don't you get intelligence when it comes to NNPCL and other agencies that have been shrouded in secrecy?
I see. What I'm telling you is that speculation, presumption about the activities of any agency is not enough to say that, oh, EFCC go after that. There must be facts.
Okay.
And we have been saying that Nigerians should always come forward with facts. You have an issue concerning anyone, any agency, bring them forward. It's not a matter of speculation. Because all of this issue, when you go to court, whatever you are talking about must be able to stand the rigor of prosecution.
Okay.
Right. You are not going to go to the court and say, oh, because Maryann said this thing on the ad fact, that is why we are here. Oh. There must be facts, robust facts, verifiable facts.
Yeah.
That can stand the rigor of a prosecution.
Okay. Well, Lagos, the phone lines are open. I want you to join the conversation. Questions, go straight to the point. No much greeting. Just say your name, where you're calling from, and your question because of time. 0201-465-7190. Ask EFCC. Or better still, you can send me a WhatsApp message, 0809-5975-805. We're also live on YouTube and on Facebook. Post your comments and your questions on our live stream. We're going to try as much as possible to... Mr. Oyewale will try as much as possible to answer all your questions. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon. Lapurushko is my name.
Go ahead.
I greet your guest. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, my dear. Well, I in terms of your question, I want to, say this. To my opinion, I think NDLE as agency supersedes every other agency, every other commission in Nigeria in terms of efficiency and transparent. To start with, then I want to ask you a question, sir. Now, why is it that Financial Crime Commission, Economic and Financial Crime Commission, when they apprehend all these corrupt politicians, allegedly with 90 billion, 100 billion as case may be, then they invite them, question them down. What we hear is maybe they are on bail with 1 billion, and that's the size of it. How do you get these public funds? And
all
we
right.
are not
60
aware
seconds
of
is
that.
all you have. Thank you very much. That's why I say don't spend time to greet people. He's asked the question.
I really, what he said, I can't.
So he's saying,
just
he's saying that how come it is that when you parade these guys, or you tell us that, you arrested, let's take for example Joshua Darie for stealing 100 billion, and then you now take him to court, and then bail is set for 1 billion, and then that's the last they hear of it. He's asking how come.
Okay, I thank my brother for that question. The EFCC Establishment Act authorizes the EFCC to prevent, to investigate, and to prosecute all cases of economic and financial crimes. The Act does not allow us to adjudicate. When we take a matter to court, it is within the power of the judiciary to do whatever is needful concerning the matter. So if you are not hearing, how many of our courts have you been to? On a daily basis, proceedings are going on. And when a matter is before the court, it is sub judice. That's elementary in law. You don't talk about it. So you want to know about the progress of our cases, go to our courts. There you will see all of the issues involved. And as a Nigerian, you have the right to come in and witness proceedings in our court. So it is not enough for anyone to say that we are no longer hearing. Go to where you can hear. Go to the court. And you will hear how the proceedings are going on.
Okay, interesting. Let's take another call. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good evening.
Turn off your radio. I will let you go immediately. You know what? Turn off your radio.
Sorry for that. This is Godwin on the line.
Go ahead.
Yes, I love the way the officer is narrating and educating us. But unfortunately, I happen to be a Kogad from Kogi State. The former governor Yaya Bello case that did a lot to economy of Kogi State. Workers who, after working for 35 years, their gratuity was not paid. Workers, civil servants for 3-4 months only pay them 10%, 50%, the rest enter boss mill. And when we were happy that, yes, justice will come, unfortunately, it became a drama between the EFCC and Yaya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State. Is this how the processes of EFCC brought to checkmate the wrong and the ethics of Nigerians, the wrong Nigerians? Is it the standard is supposed to be, especially with the former Kogi State governor, Yaya Bello?
All right, thank you. like I always say, please, before you call me, put your thoughts together. 60 seconds is all you have. Ask the question directly. So he's asking, Yaya Bello even had a party of sorts after he was granted bail. And so he's asking you again, the same question that the last guy asked.
I think the Nigerians should commend the EFCC for bringing Yaya Bello to trial. Yaya Bello is standing trial before in two different courts, at the Federal Capital Territory High Court and at the Federal High Court. And there are so many charges that have been preferred against him. He has been arraigned. The matter is in court. He's going to court. We are going to court. It is entirely in the domain of the judiciary. The commission have done its work. Yeah, we have done our work and we deserve commendation for that. All of us, we know the razzmatazz, we know the ghost bars and everything that went with the Yaya Bello issue, and the commission brought him to trial. My executive chairman, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, who has been very focused, a resourceful Nigerian, a very, very patriotic Nigerian, who said that he will bring him to trial, he brought him to trial. And the commission deserves commendation for that. You want to know the progress of the matter?
My problem is that you are asking for this commendation. We will not give it until we feel like we should give it. Leave us alone. We will not give it.
Yeah, okay, now
we have to have that strong.
See, Maryann,
you are begging for it. We'll give it when we think that you've done a great job.
I'm not begging at all. I'm not begging. I want to remind you, you are one of the very good Nigerians that was on my neck when we had not brought Yaya Bello to trial.
Yes.
You are very loud in your objection. Now that we have brought him to trial, I will expect that the same kind of yeah. So the matter is in court, honestly.
Exactly. So I shouldn't applaud you when you've done your job halfway, should I?
Yeah, very good. So the matter is in court, and just like I said the other time, when the matter is before the court, I think we should allow the court to do its job.
Okay.
We cannot be talking about it.
It's sub judice, you say. All right. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Eyo from Ikorodu.
Go ahead.
Your guest to say the facts is economical with the truth. We are Nigerians. We know what is happening. You understand? And we know when the EFCC was formed initially under Obasanjo, how effective and efficient the EFCC was. We have top politicians that were involved in corruption that were arrested by EFCC. They were shown public. Their names were mentioned. We saw them on television. But here the reverse is the case. Since Buhari and Tinubu enter, what they are doing is secret to arrest, secret dismissal. You understand? 27 people who involved in the agency and trust to fight financial crime. Involved in shady deals. You say you dismiss them. Their names were not mentioned. Their faces were not seen. You say that's your own policy. What policy is that? How would that serve as a deterrent to those that are going to involve, in that subsequently? You understand? We have more trust in NDLEA than EFCC because we could see what the agency is doing. We could see, and they show us, and we are seeing it on television, and people that are involved, we know them. But you are doing your own secretly. Is the FCC set up only for fraudsters? Is it only for Yahoo?
All right. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you for calling. 60 seconds is all you have. Okay? I wait for you guys to land, but you just keep going on and on and on. So I don't want to be rude to cut you off halfway. I'll take another call. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Thank you, Maryann. And the man is Prince YS calling you from Amuwodo. My question to your guest is this. Why can't you and ICPC ask for special court? My dear Sir Prince, why I've been asking for special court for the past 21 years in this country is not yet granted. And you are trying. Well, after being investigated by you, the next case is the next case, court of law. And when the matter gets to court, it is stuck there. People continue blame IFCC. They are not even working there because Nigeria have forgotten the case. Let us special court that it lasts just 1 or 2 years. Ask for that from Mr. President. Ask for that from the National Assembly. Ask you just of to grant you special court. That's my good advice to you.
All right, thank you very much. Would you like to respond to Prince YS?
You know, he suggested that.
He says why. He's saying why. He's asking why you haven't asked for your own court, because seemingly what you have been telling us all evening is that the court processes are slow, and that's why some of these cases are where they are.
Well, you know, just like I said the other time, the public needs to understand what our act authorizes us to do. Like any other Nigerian, we can make a request for special court to try corruption cases. It is not within our power to establish those courts. It's not within our power to establish anti-corruption courts. And I want to give it to the judiciary that the judiciary is doing its best. Because there are designated judges and courts that are trying corruption cases. You understand? So, but we can still do better with a special anti-corruption court. I agree with him, and we are in tune with that. It's one of the things that can fast track, the resolution of cases in court. We will get there. We will get there. We will certainly get there.
Okay. Let's take a few more calls. Keep them coming. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Do call me back if that was you. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Hello. Hello. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with our phone lines today. All right. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann.
Yes, go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Pastor Ladipo. I want to ask your guest, all these political high-profile cases, why is it that most of them end up in the media and we don't even know so much about it again? Tomorrow you will see that person, the person will now be contesting for another bigger position. And this is some person that is having an allegation who is clearing them when it is time for them to be cleared to contest for any political office. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good question there to you, Mr. Oyedele.
Well,
I beg your pardon.
I have said it over and over again. The EFCC cannot be the accuser and the judge in its own matter. Every high-profile matter that is before the court is within the jurisdiction and responsibility of the court to adjudicate on. So, what my friend, what he raised, he has not actually raised it against the commission. We have done our work to arraign and to prosecute and to bring to trial so many high-profile people. The cases are in court. It's beyond the power of the EFCC to say that, okay, this fellow that we have brought for trial, you must go to prison, you must serve 3 years sentence. No, we don't have such power. We don't have such power. Our power, we prevent, we investigate, and we prosecute. We don't adjudicate. It is within the power of the judiciary to decide cases that are brought before the court.
Lovely. Let's take a few more calls and then I'll go to our live stream to take more of your questions. Call me back. Turn off your radio. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jonathan is my name.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Well, your guests have spoken very well. I agree with him. You have to have facts. You don't just talk because you have mouth. But there are some open secrets. I want to ask him a question. As a citizen, he is a citizen of this country. I want to talk about the power sector. And it's an open secret. And all of us know that we have spent trillions of dollars, if not more than trillions. And we are not having power. Please, as a citizen, him, and as a security agency, I want to know his opinion. What does he have to say about that?
All right. Thank you very much. I know that the EFCC has spoken on this issue before, but go ahead.
I like that question. The EFCC, like every other Nigerian, is worried about the trouble in our power sector. Mm-hmm. As we are talking, 2 former ministers of power and development have been charged to court. Mr. Olu Agloe, Salimama, for so many cases of alleged misappropriation of funds, outright stealing, money laundering, and all such evil issues that are allegedly involved in the administration of the power sector. We investigated them. The Mambila Power Project is there. All of these things, we have taken them to court. And the court is going to rightfully, decide all of those cases. So the energy issue, power issue in Nigeria, we are worried about it. And that is why the commission initiated investigation into so many administrations, what have been done. What we uncovered, we took to court. We prefer charges against them, and trials are ongoing in our courts concerning. I'm sure this is an open issue. Every day we talk about it.
Great, thank you very much. Let me go to our live stream. I want to take some of the comments from our live stream while we're at it. For those of you who sent us WhatsApp messages, we're going to read them. So please go ahead and post your comments on our live stream. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. I see so many messages. Someone here is asking, Robert here on our YouTube live stream is asking, why is the EFCC not arresting the alleged corrupt persons in the NNPCL? When your agency breaks into people's homes at night, is it done with a warrant or without a warrant? That's a good question. And I want to add, Mr. Oyewale, I used to have a colleague who used to be my co-host on the morning show back in Port Harcourt. And you told us here that the EFCC deals with facts. Thank goodness he was at work with me. His wife was at work, and his family were not home. They broke into his house, saying they were looking for your people. Were looking for someone who was engaged in some corrupt or financial. Without a warrant, nothing. They just broke into the house, and God knows
99.3
what could have happened. When we come back, I want to ask you how you know which house to break into.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Sorry for that break. So, Mr. Oyewale, my colleague could have been dead with his family. He's just a bloody journalist like me, not knowing that your people broke into the wrong house. The only saving grace they had was that there was nobody at home that day. Maybe you were looking for one of his neighbors, but you broke into his house without knowing exactly where you were going. No warrant. You just said you were looking for somebody. The EFCC was looking for somebody. That breaking of people's doors and jumping into their houses, how legal is that? But then when it comes to the big guys, you don't do the same thing.
Correct you on some issues. EFCC investigators, operative, they don't break into houses.
Really?
We are not marauders. We are not robbers. We are not terrorists.
Really?
We are not antisocial elements.
So my colleague is lying because we all know about it.
Do you know? I'm sure you realize that we have quite a number of impersonators in town, posturing and claiming to be EFCC officers. That's really? Number one. Number two,
really,
concerning the issue of warrant, because repeatedly people say they go into houses without warrant. It's likely a lack of understanding of what law enforcement officers of what they are empowered to do. Let me quickly educate you on this. An average EFCC operative carries a warrant on his identity card. Wherever there is an identity, legal, legitimate, verifiable identity of an EFCC operative, there is a warrant duly authorized by our court. So when our people, whenever they come for arrest, the very fact that they are EFCC operatives with their identity, check their ID card, you see a warrant there. They carry it readily.
How do you check the ID card of a man that is carrying a gun and has broken your doors down?
No, I'm
because you do not give the average Nigerian the opportunity to even ask you for a warrant.
On the issue of a warrant or no warrant, there is legitimacy of operation. And we just don't carry out our operation on whims and caprices. No, we carry our operations on the wings of intelligence, actionable intelligence. Sometimes when we need to carry out an operation, we may have done a kind of reconnaissance survey of that area for maybe 2-3 months. That we know exactly what we are going for. We know exactly who we are going for. So we do our job with mathematical exactitude.
What would you advise? What would you advise average Nigerians to do now? Because you're telling us that there are people who are out on a rampage, carrying guns and impersonating you. What do we do to those people?
No, but we have said it over time. I've said it repeatedly. Nigerians have been hearing us. We are not marauders. We are not robbers.
What do we do to
when we need to carry out a sting operation? You can identify legitimate EFCC operatives in action. All this break and bust and thing that they are talking about is strange to us because many of our officers, they are not involved in that. And whenever we find out that such a thing has happened, I just told you about a Department of Ethics and Integrity. We quickly bring them for questioning, and we do the normal internal processes to ensure that the right thing is done. So people just calling a dog a bad name to hang it.
Mr. Oyewale, unfortunately, we have to wrap things up here because our time is fast spent. I want to thank you very much for being part of the conversation.
Thank you so much.
Dele Oyewale is the spokesperson of the EFCC. Thank you for coming on the show. We would like to have more of these in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, Lagos. We'll leave it at that. My name is Maryann Okon. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Follow Nigeria Info on all of its social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads.
Can I have your attention, please?
The news, information, and the right conversation are
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.